Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, November 29th, 2017 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is my inner flow teaches me which way to go. And overall, we don't have a lot of transits going on today, but we do have some Mars intensity that we're building into. And it's really interesting. I'm like, oh, I really feel like, if you remember back, I was pulling the healing card, the King of Cups, in reverse quite a bit. And I was like, I feel like yang energy is going through some healing. And if you remember in GPS, Niki kept pulling the Rebel card, and this is the Emperor breaking through some of those chains. And I feel like that is kind of what we're building into. Now, I like to focus on the term yang instead of masculine because I feel like we get so caught up in the archetypal energies of masculine and feminine. I'm a feminine person because, here, I have makeup and long hair, or I'm a masculine person because I play basketball and do this. And, while those qualities could feed into it, it really has much less to do with it. We all have some sort of balance of yin and yang within us, and we do want to find ourselves in balance. We need, everybody, male or female, needs yin energy, that feminine energy. That is the inner leader. It is the inner guide. And then we all need that yang energy that then takes action from that inner guidance. And so that yang energy is coming into a place where there is healing going on, so we can take that yin-inspired action and keep evolving ourselves, keep moving in our personal soul flow. So that, to me, is there's some of that going on. We'll get into that as soon as we finish up with the transit of the day. So we have the moon in Aries. Moon shifted into Aries yesterday on Tuesday. And this moon in Aries is connecting to both the North Node in Leo, North Node in Ceres, interestingly enough, North Node in Ceres in Leo, and Pluto in Capricorn. That Pluto in Capricorn energy is very interesting. Pluto in Capricorn is going through and transforming the status quo. And so we all have some sort of duty, some kind of job, some sort of, I don't know what the right word is. It was there for a second. Mercury's almost retrograde, but we have a contract, being that we are on this planet right now, to be evolving and being involved in the transformation of the structures of the world that's taking place. And our involvement comes by us looking within and shifting these structures that we have. So the moon in Aries tunes us into our I am vibration. Who are you? And so often we do relate so strongly to the titles that the world has cast upon us, or that we have even gratefully accepted. And we forget the core of who we are. So Moon in Aries as well as Uranus in Aries are working that right now. Pluto, like I said, Pluto is working to shift the structures of everything. Pluto wants us to transform. Pluto's ultimate goal for transformation is not torture. Just so you know, anybody going through Pluto transits is not torture. It's Plutonic colonic. It's to help us transform in order to empower. It is transmutation at its best. And it's to get into authentic power. It's not any of these so-called powers that we have been so long as a world utilizing. So this combination has a little bit of friction. It's a square, so there may be resistance. There may be resistance from the world as you step into your I am vibration. You may have resistance because, let's face it, it's scary to take the masks off. It's scary to take the cloaks off. And we may not necessarily be ready. I think the North Node in all of this really is such a beautiful key. Now, I mentioned yesterday that the North Node is hanging out with Ceres in Leo. Ceres represents the inner mother. So it is your job to mother, to nurture, to yin yourself. Be soft with yourself through this process. But the North Node in Leo part reminds us to connect us to our joy. And I have 2 cards that came out from the Sacred Traveler cards, but one of the cards is joy and delight. Open your heart to joy. Connect to what is joyful for you. That is a huge sign for you. If it's not joyful for you, it doesn't mean it's not for you, but it definitely means there may be some healing needed around it. But if there's something that brings you joy and delight, connect into that, because that connects you into the truth of who you are. So that North Node is being like, hey, this is an important piece. And the other important piece of that with the Ceres is you must become the inner parent for yourself to guide yourself into this. Because we all need that support system. And that's part of the yin energy that we all carry, is the ability to be the inner mother to our inner child. How beautiful is that? Now, like I said, we have some interesting building going on. We have Mars building. Mars is building into an opposition with Uranus. What day is that going to happen? That is going to happen on Friday early morning. So this could be quite a fiery energy. Mars is in Libra, and Mars in Libra has been working on finding that balance between the yin and the yang so that the yang energy can step up. Mars in Libra realizes that in order for the yang to be in its total strength, it must be connected to the yin. You know what I think of? Out of balance yang energy would be Gaston on Beauty and the Beast. He just popped into my head. I was like, nobody's as wonderful as me, and he totally like overruled any of Belle's like feelings or anything like that. That's Mars out of balance. That's yang out of balance. We do not want that. We want the balanced energy. Uranus reminds us, Uranus in Aries, which is the sign of Mars, Uranus though reminds us that our I am vibration does contain both energies. Now what's also interesting, as we come into this opposition where we're going to shake out, hopefully, some of those Gastonic tendencies, Gastonic, it's a good word, we're going to shake out some of those Gastonic tendencies, but what's so interesting, I love the astro, I love it so much, Uranus and Pallas are coming together. Pallas is currently retrograde. Pallas is retrograde, where is it at? 26 degrees, and Uranus is at 25 degrees. So here comes Pallas energy. Pallas has the potential to be the sacred divine yang, the sacred divine masculine energy. But what it represents a lot of times in charts is our issues with patriarchal energy. So here it is with Uranus, and then we have this opposition with Mars. Holy cow. Like I said, I do feel like there is some major yang healing going on. Now, it's not about pointing it out to all of the men in the world, because they are not the only ones who carry the yang energy. We, as the feminine, me speaking as I'm a bit more yin-dominated, a yin-dominated person must take responsibility for our guidance and the places where we need healing in regards to our yang, where we haven't acted accordingly, where we haven't honored that passion, and the places where we also haven't listened to our yin. So this is a beautiful healing opportunity that is coming through that will allow us to step out. And by the way, I didn't pull these cards. I pulled them out as references. I have other cards that I will show you in a minute, but these are the reference cards. So whether you identify as male or female or anywhere in the spectrum between, be very conscious and aware of what's going on with your yang energy, the part of you that takes that action, and yet tune into that inner flow. Tune in to your sacred intuition. Tune into your sacred feelings, because this, I feel like, feelings is where we have gone so wrong. So wrong with all of this stuff. This is what these cards are like crazy. So, feelings, male, female, yin, yang, wherever, whatever. Feelings need to come up and be processed and released. And we've been taught that you're not strong if you let those feelings go, or you're crazy if you let those feelings go. I never recommend putting our feelings on somebody else or even blaming somebody for our feelings. We do have to take that responsibility. I think that's part of strong yang energy, is that ability to take that responsibility for the life that we are living. However, There are feelings that need to be processed right now. There are feelings that need to be felt and completed. Now, it's interesting because none of this astro is incredibly deep feeling astro. But if we tune into, oh, that's building. Jupiter in Scorpio is moving into connection with Neptune. Those are strong water energies. So there are strong water energies that are going on. And I can tell you as a Sag, we come off as like hearty and joyful and bubbly, but we are very soft and have a lot of feels. So Sagittarius has a lot of feels going on. Feel free to feel. Feel free to process this. This is part of the healing that will allow you to be rebirthed into your power, into your true, fullest self. I also have the schizophrenia card in reverse. You don't know which way to go because you haven't processed these feelings, which are blocking your yin energy, which then blocks you from fully taking that action as the yang. It's all connected. You must go deeper. You must fall into your heart. You're resisting. Because sometimes when we're, throwing ourselves on the floor, crying our eyes out over these past things, it doesn't feel so good. And you're like, I must not be as enlightened as I thought I was because I'm crying. No! Feel. It's okay. It's okay to feel. I think the biggest point, though, with the feels is, not taking it out on somebody else, which is hard because we want to. We want somebody else to experience and witness our pain. But somebody can experience and witness your pain without you taking it out on them. And just realize your pain that you've been carrying, this is your responsibility to process and transmute. And then reach for the joy. Don't stay in it. Don't sit in it. Reach for the joy. Open your heart to joy. And I love, it's funny for such small transits how much I had to say. I love the cards that I have. I'm going to show this one. I'm unapologetic about what I desire, and I trust that what I focus on will grow. The yang, when fully engaged and tuned into the yin, that's the attitude. I'm unapologetic. I know I'm in my alignment and I'm moving in the direction of my dreams. This is wise leader energy, which, let's just note, there is a female yin energy right here. You are a beacon for others, and I love a lot of what this says. You are a leader. You carry wisdom and radiance that inspires others. Even if you're not aware of the depths of wisdom within you, it's emerging by leaps and bounds. This is a time to step into your power and take a role of leadership. And I feel like this leadership is really like leadership in your life. It's okay to lead your life from that balanced yin and yang perspective. On the journey, it's easy to tell who the leaders are. They have inner grace and strength that glows from within. Others travel on the pathways that the leaders have created. The wise leader holds up the flame as a torch for others in the darkest night. But the leader also listens to the beat of their own drum. That's what makes a good leader. They're tuned into their inner yin and yang. True leaders. There's some not so good leaders out there, but true leaders listen to the beat from within, to their soul. Grab the reins of life on your terms. Don't live to please others and appease others to the detriment of your own needs. This is not what a leader does. Live without regrets. I'm unapologetic about what I desire, and I trust that what I focus on will grow. You must live in accordance to your truth. But meanwhile, you also must do your healing work because we have a lot of distortions. It's kind of one of those catch-22s. Keep listening to yourself, and yet keep shedding those layers that distort those truths. Simple, right? That's just it, just that. And this is why Sagittarius is like moment to moment to moment to moment to moment, because we are going through major, windy roads transformation at this time. So come join me and Nikki. It's getting close. I'm getting excited on Saturday in LA for our live GPS. I'm really excited about that. What else? Book a reading. Book a reading with me. Come join me in 2018 for monthly or bi-monthly or even tri-monthly readings. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so there is enough love in the world for you, and the better it gets, the better it gets. Namaste.